Let's take a look at how to apply multi-level subtotals. First thing we want to do is come out here and show you that if you are on a formal table and not a range, you cannot do subtotals. For instance, if I come out here and I click in the middle of my range and I do a Control T to convert this into a table, and there's my table. If I come out here now and click on my Data tab on the far right, I see that subtotals is grayed out. I'm going to convert this back into a range. Right click in the middle of my table, go to Table and say Convert to Range, and say Yes. Back in my range, the first thing I'm going to want to do in my list is to sort it. And I want to sort it first by the salesperson, and whenever the salesperson's name is the same, I want it to come over and then do a sub-sort or a second key sort on the product name. So let's start this. Click in the middle of my data. I will come out to my Data tab and I will choose Sort. And in the sort box, I will sort first by the salesperson, A to Z, add a level, and wherever the salespersons are the same, I'm going to sort by the product name. And when I click OK, I see that sort. I get the salesperson, Andrew Fuller. Andrew Fuller stops. There's the last product name beginning with the letter Z, and then it starts with Alice Mutton again over here on Ann Dodsworth. So it looks like it's sorting correctly. Once I have the two key sort in place, I can come out, click in the middle of my range or my list, and I will come out now and choose Data Subtotals. And I will come out here and say at each change in salesperson, I want to sum the total. So I will come out here, I will say Summary Below Data. I will go ahead and click OK. And I see that it's gone ahead, and if I scroll all the way down again, down to the end of Andrew Fuller, I will see that at the last Andrew Fuller entry, we now have an Andrew Fuller total, which is the total of the sales of the products that Andrew Fuller has sold. I could also come out here and click on this outlining tool that has now shown up. I could click on the number 2 and it collapses down all the product names, and I see just the totals for the different salespeople. I'll go ahead and expand this out again. Let's add a fourth level, or rather a second level sort, which is going to give me an outline with 4 levels on it. In the middle of my table, I will come out, I will choose subtotals, and I will choose at each change in product name, I want to sum the total. Now you want to make sure that this is unchecked. You don't want to replace the current subtotals or else it'll blow out the subtotals for the salesperson. So make sure that's unchecked. We'll go ahead and click OK. And it does its magic. And now I get Andrew Fuller's Alice Mutton total, Andrew Fuller's Boston Crab Meat total, as well as Andrew Fuller's total for all the products. I now also see that I have 4 levels of outlining, and if I click just on the number 3, it collapses down and I see first just a listing of the total sales for the product, but then I see the Andrew Fuller sales for each product at the bottom here, as well as Ann Dodsworth and her total down here for all the products as well. Now to change this up just a little bit, maybe I want to see those labels up at the top. So let's start this, do this another way. To clear this off, I can just click in the middle of the table, Data tab, come out and choose Subtotals and say Remove All. And that will take me right back to where I started. Try this one more time. I'll click in the middle of my data. I will come out, Data tab, Subtotals. I will see say at each change in product name, I will start with my salesperson. I will sum the total, and I don't want the summary below the data. I'm going to click on summary below the data and take that check mark off, and I'm going to go ahead and just click on OK. And now I get Andrew Fuller's up here at the top. I also get the grand total up at the top. From here as well, I'll go to subtotals. I will change this up to product name, and I will come out and choose to make sure that I'm summing the total. Make sure that replace current subtotals is unchecked. I'll click OK. And now I see Andrew Fuller's total. I see the Alice Mutton total. I see the Boston Crab Meat total. And if I collapse this down, I can see Andrew Fuller's total up here, and then also the totals for each one of his given products before we come down and take a look at Ann Dodsworth total and the subtotals of each one of sales figures for each one of her products as well. Wanted to go all the way down, could click on number 2, and now again I just see the salespeople. To remove this again, I will go back out to the Data tab, click on Subtotals, and choose Remove All, and I've cleaned off my subtotal setting.